Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, that is, living by the thoughts of others. Steve Jobs. If you let yourself drift in the waves of others' opinions, you'll lose the compass that guides your own path. Life is not a copy, nor is it a stage for you to play a role written by someone else. It is a unique journey, like a painting only you can create, with the colors of your soul and the brushstrokes of your aspirations. Imagine if a seed kept wishing to become a mountain, it would never bloom. But if it dares to rise as its true self, it will blossom brilliantly. So it is with people. Only by living true to ourselves do we find peace, freedom, and profound happiness. Time flows drop by drop, like sand slipping through your fingers, and the only thing you can do is use it to write your own life story, rather than living in someone else's shadow. If you look at what you have in life, you will always have more. If you look at what you don't have in life, you will never have enough. Oprah Winfrey. When we cherish what we have, even just a smile, a simple meal, or a hand holding ours through the storm, we realize we are immensely rich. For happiness doesn't lie in how much we possess, but in how much we value what we already have. Conversely, if we keep chasing the voids yet to be filled, our soul becomes like a bucket with a hole. No matter how much is poured in, it will never be full. Like gazing at the sky, a pessimist sees only gray clouds, while an optimist notices the light beyond the clouds where the sun awaits. Choose to see the beautiful things, so your heart is always filled with abundance. You must be the change you wish to see in the world. Mahatma Gandhi. A torch lit in the darkness reminds us that the world doesn't change through prayers or waiting alone, but through the small steps of each individual. Imagine if you wish to see a field of vibrant flowers, you can't just stand still and dream. You must be the one to sow the seeds, nurture them, and water them with sweat and faith. The vast world out there is like a mirror, reflecting back what we give. When we give love, we receive warmth. When we sow hope, the darkness of despair gradually fades. Gandhi wants us to understand that instead of waiting for someone to bring light, be the small candle yourself, and from that light, thousands of other candles will ignite, dispelling the darkness. That is the quiet yet immense power of starting within each person, a force that can turn the wheels of history. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hatred cannot drive out. Hatred, only love can do that. A majestic melody rises amid life's storms, reminding us that wounds cannot be healed with more blades, nor can long nights be ended by weaving more darkness. A single small candle is enough to dispel the gloom of an entire room, just as a single loving heart can warm a soul chilled by hatred. Light and love are the two magical, eternal languages that transcend all borders and distances. Instead of responding to harshness with resentment, carry within you the flame of compassion, for only love has the power to soothe pain, mend fractures, and open the path to true peace. Do one thing every day that scares you. Eleanor Roosevelt. Fear is like an invisible wall blocking us from new horizons. But imagine, each day you chip away one brick from that wall, little by little. After a year, the entire wall will collapse, revealing a vast and free sky. When you dare to face what makes your heart tremble, you also open a door to growth. It could be a heartfelt word, a daring decision, or a step forward. And then, day by day, fear becomes a companion, reminding you that you're progressing, becoming a stronger version of yourself. Do better than you speak, Benjamin Franklin. Words, though smooth as a stream or lofty as clouds, remain mere sounds if not proven by actions. Actions, on the other hand, are like seeds sown in the earth, quiet and unassuming at first. But over time, they sprout, grow, and prove their vitality. A small but genuine act is worth more than 1,000 grand promises. The world doesn't change through eloquent words, but through hands that dare to act and feet that keep moving forward. A wise person doesn't need to speak much, for their results speak for them. Indeed, doing better than speaking well is the simplest yet most enduring measure of maturity and human value. In the end, the number of years in your life is not what matters. What matters is the life in your years. Abraham Lincoln. Some live 100 years, yet their lives pass by blandly, like a river without ripples. Others may only be here briefly, but leave a radiant mark, like a shooting star streaking across the sky, short-lived but unforgettable. Time can be measured in years or months, but life is measured by meaning. Every smile you spread, every love you share, every dream you dare to chase, that is the life in your years. So don't just count the days gone by. Make each day worth remembering. If life were predictable, it would cease to be life and lose its flavor. Eleanor Roosevelt. If every day repeated like a song with a single note or a meal with just one taste, would we still be eager to move forward? It's the unexpected turns, the ups and downs, that weave the vibrant colors of the journey of life. Joy becomes sweeter after tasting bitterness. Success shines brighter when forged through failure. Life, with all its randomness and mystery, is like a book whose final page we cannot read in advance. And that's what makes each page we turn a precious experience. Life is a series of lessons that must be lived to be understood. Ralph Waldo Emerson. A page of a book opens, reminding us that some things cannot be learned from texts, cannot be grasped through advice alone, but must be walked, stumbled upon, and experienced firsthand. Life is like a vast classroom, where each day is a unique lesson. Joy teaches us gratitude. Sorrow teaches us resilience. Failure forges our strength, while success reminds us to stay humble. These lessons have no set curriculum, no final exam, for the journey we live is the truest test of all. Only by passing through the storm do we know the value of calm. Only by losing do we understand the worth of what we have. Thus, life is not meant to be explained, but to be experienced and grown through with each step. Life is never fair, and perhaps that's unfair to most of us. Oscar Wilde. A mirror reflecting reality, forcing us to admit that absolute fairness is an illusion. Some are born at the finish line, while others start from less than nothing. Some walk paths strewn with roses, while others must cross stones and storms. Yet this very unfairness is a test to forge our resilience. Like a mountain not meant for all, those who dare to climb it find the view from the summit a worthy reward. Life doesn't give us a choice about where we begin, but it grants us the power to decide how we walk forward. When we accept that unfairness is a rule, we stop complaining and instead find ways to turn adversity into strength, transforming disadvantages into motivation to prove ourselves. Only a life lived for others is a life worthwhile, Albert Einstein, a lantern illuminating the path of humanity, reminding us that the true value of life lies not in what we gather for ourselves, but in what we give away. A drop of water falling in the desert soon vanishes, but when it joins a river, it becomes the lifeblood nourishing an entire field. So it is with life. Living only for ourselves, we easily feel lonely and small, but living for others, our hearts expand and our joy multiplies. Living for others doesn't mean forgetting ourselves, but turning our existence into light, leaving warmth behind, sowing seeds of love as we pass through. And in the moment we bring happiness to someone else, we truly feel the profound meaning of what it means to be worth living. The purpose of our lives is to be happy. After all the hustle, the worries, the successes, and failures, the ultimate destination of humanity is still those two words: happiness. Happiness doesn't always come from grand things. It can come from a peaceful smile after a hard day, from a warm meal shared with family, or from living true to your heart. It's like the sunlight, sometimes radiant, sometimes gentle, but always there to warm your life. We may travel countless roads, touch many dreams, but if deep down we don't find joy and peace, all achievements are but an empty shell. Thus, living happily is living fully, grateful for what we have, and giving love to enrich our souls. Life is truly very simple, but we insist on making it complicated. In truth, life revolves around the simplest things: a satisfying meal, a restful sleep, a genuine smile, or a warm hand to hold. But greed, comparisons, and calculations of gain and loss have turned that simple painting into a tangled maze, like a calm lake that only needs to be gazed upon to see its beauty. We throw too many pebbles of worry, causing ripples that never settle. Life is like a clear stream. We need only drink to quench our thirst, but we keep measuring, analyzing, and lose its original sweetness. If we pause and let go of the fleeting things, we'll see happiness lies in simplicity, and sometimes a serene heart is worth more than 1,000 complex calculations. May you live fully every day of your life. Jonathan Swift. The value of a life is not in the length of years, but in how you live each day. Living fully means not letting today be clouded by regrets of yesterday or worries for tomorrow. Living fully is daring to laugh when happy, cry when sad, love with all your heart, and live true to yourself. Each day is a gift, a blank page for you to write with experiences, with love, with stumbles, and with growth. If you cherish each moment, even a single short day can become an eternal memory. And when you look back, you'll see your life hasn't passed in vain, for each day was lived fully, completely, and deeply. Life itself is the most wonderful fairy tale. Hans Christian Andersen. A poetic whisper reminds us that each of us is living in a marvelous story where we are the main character. We don't need magic wands or fairies, for the magic lies in the simple moments: a sudden smile, a hand holding another, a spark of faith sprouting after stormy days. Life is like a fairy tale being written endlessly, where you are both the storyteller, the character, and the seeker of happiness. Sometimes you face witches named difficulties or dragons of fear, but it's these challenges that make the journey meaningful. And if you cherish each day, sow love and hope, then life, though imperfect, will always be the most wonderful fairy tale you're fortunate to live. Don't let making a living stop you from building a life. John Wooden. We chase work, money, fame, so much that we forget they are means, not the ultimate goal. Making a living is for survival, but building a life is for truly living. A person may have a high income, a packed schedule, but if there's no time for family, friends, or for your own small dreams and joys, that's merely existing in a cycle, not living fully. A true life is nurtured by love, experiences, growth of the soul, and the joy of being yourself. Don't let work become your chains. Let it be a springboard to build a life rich with memories and meaning. Life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all. Helen Keller. Truly, living isn't about staying safe in your comfort zone, but daring to step out, try, and burn brightly. Life is like a sea voyage. If you keep your ship docked at the harbor, it will never know the ocean. Risks, failures, even painful falls are proof that you're daring, living a life full of color. For living blandly, without challenges, is merely existing, and only when you see each day as a new journey, with the courage to embrace surprises, do you touch the deepest meaning of living. Life is a long lesson in humility. James M. Barrie. The journey of life isn't for showing off, but for learning to listen, understand, and bow before things greater than ourselves. Each step, each success, each failure is a page in the book teaching us humility. When we hold our heads high in pride, life sends a challenge to remind us we are still small. When we bow in humility, we open the door to learning and growth. Life is vast, like an ocean. No matter how grand our ship, before the waves, we are but a speck of dust in the sky. Humility keeps our soul clear, grateful for what we have, and open to new things. In the end, humility doesn't diminish us. It makes our life deeper and more meaningful. I can sum up everything I've learned about life. It goes on. Robert Frost. Whether joy or sorrow, success or failure, the flow of life keeps moving forward. Though you fall today, the sun will still rise tomorrow. Though you triumph gloriously, time still marches on without pause. Life is like a river, sometimes calm, sometimes turbulent, but it never stops flowing. This message teaches us serenity. Don't be too proud in success, nor despair in failure, for everything will pass. What matters is learning to rise, keep walking, and live fully in each moment. Life goes on, not for us to give up, but to remind us there's always a new chance, a tomorrow to start again. Life is made of many farewells woven together with reunions. Charles Dickens. A river winds through jagged cliffs, then flows calmly into serene bays, woven from countless farewells and reunions full of emotion. Each goodbye, though painful, like autumn winds sweeping away golden leaves, creates space for green sprouts of hope to rise, mending wounds with the invisible thread of time and love. Imagine stars lost in the night sky. They part only to gather again as a radiant constellation, lighting our path. Or like raindrops falling alone on parched earth, they part to soak deep, nurturing life and blooming vibrantly under the morning sun. These farewells are not tragic endings, but the sacred rhythm of the universe, reminding us that every crack can be mended with resilience and faith, making life richer, fuller, and brimming with the joy of reunion. Life is just testing you with everything to see if it works. Ray Bradbury. Life, like a strict yet loving teacher, keeps giving unexpected tests, throwing you into storms to see how strong your heart is, how fiercely your will burns. Each challenge, like sharp pebbles on a rugged path, is not meant to make you fall, but to sharpen your steps, like fire forging a blade. Think of young eagles pushed from the nest to learn to spread their wings across the vast sky, or a tiny seed buried in cold earth, only to break its shell and grow into a mighty tree. Life tests you, not to break you, but to discover how brightly you can shine, to reveal that every difficulty is a chance to uncover your hidden strength, turning the impossible into miracles filled with light and hope. Always smile, for life is a beautiful thing with so much to smile about. Marilyn Monroe. A vibrant painting drawn with the colors of joy and sorrow, always inviting us to smile, like sunlight filtering through leaves, brightening even the darkest corners. Smile, like wildflowers proudly blooming in a windswept field, for each moment we live is a precious gift, sparkling like dewdrops under the dawn's light. Whether a smile at a radiant new day or eyes twinkling after weathering a storm within, that smile is the thread connecting us to the beauty of the world, from the chirping of birds, the cool breeze, to the warmth of a held hand. Let your smile be a small flame, warming your soul and lighting your path, for in every breath of life, there are countless reasons to smile, to love this world more, and believe that beauty awaits us ahead. The way to start is to stop talking and begin doing. On Walt Disney, a brilliant lightning bolt tearing through the fog of hesitation, reminding us that a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a bold step. Stop talking, like silencing the gusts of empty promises, so your heart and hands can work in harmony, turning dreams into reality like an artist sketching the first stroke on a blank canvas. Action is a blazing fire, illuminating a thorny path, like stars guiding sailors across the vast ocean. Imagine a seed dreaming of a lush canopy, but staying still. It will remain a seed, but when it dares to break its shell and root into the earth, it becomes a thriving forest. Start doing, even as small as a trickling stream, and it will lead you to oceans of success where each effort is a wave, strong and ever-reaching, carrying the belief that every great thing begins the moment you dare to move. When you undervalue what you do, the world will undervalue who you are. Oprah Winfrey. A bell ringing in your chest, waking you from self-doubt, reminding you that your worth is a flame you ignite through your deeds. When you belittle your efforts, as if discarding precious gems from your hand, the world too will be blind to your unique light, like darkness veiling a lone star. Each action, whether small as a dew drop on a leaf or grand as a mountain standing tall, is a declaration of who you are. Cherish each effort like a jeweler treasuring every tiny detail, for that pride will paint your portrait in the eyes of the world, a vibrant, vivid picture full of dignity. When you honor the value of what you do, the world will bow before the blazing fire in your soul, reflecting a person who doesn't just exist, but truly shines. The only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be. Ralph Waldo Emerson. A mighty wind blowing through the fields of your soul, awakening you to realize that fate is not a chain binding you, but a blank canvas for you to paint your life's masterpiece. You are the weaver of your destiny, each thread a choice that brushes the portrait of the person you aspire to be. Like a steadfast lighthouse amid stormy seas, each decision you make is a guiding light, not to fight fate, but to shape it. Like a river carving its path to the sea. Though you may feel like a bird lost in the fog, remember that your resolve, like mighty wings, will carry you through storms to new horizons. The person you become is not written in distant stars or vague prophecies, but shines in the steps you choose, the dreams you dare to chase, until you stand, proud, as the embodiment of the burning aspirations in your heart. The question isn't who will let me, but who will stop me. Ayn Rand. A fire blazing in the dark, igniting unyielding will and indomitable spirit in every soul. It's not about seeking permission, as if we need someone to hand us the key to our dreams, but a bold challenge, like a lion's roar in the wild, resounding. Who dares to block my path? Life, like a vast ocean with towering waves, doesn't wait to hand out opportunities, but demands we row forward, overcoming every obstacle. Picture a towering mountain. It's not the peak that decides if you conquer it, but the resolve in your heart, like a wind pushing a sail forward. No one has the right to stop you unless you allow yourself to pause. So rise, like a tree standing tall after a storm, and let each step prove that nothing, no one, can hinder you from becoming the most radiant version of yourself. I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Maya Angelou. A gem sparkling in the flow of time, revealing the profound truth of the power of emotions in human hearts. Words, though sharp as a blade or sweet as a stream, might fade like mist. Actions, whether grand as mountains or small as grains of sand, may blur in memory, but the feelings you inspire, like warm sunlight thawing a winter's day or a cool breeze, soothing a soul in the summer's heat, etch themselves in hearts like eternal marks on the sands of time. Imagine you're an artist, painting emotions on the canvas of life. A sincere smile, a warm embrace, or a knowing glance, all can become a fire warming, a light brightening someone's soul forever. So live to make each moment a beautiful melody resonating in hearts, so that even as time passes, you remain a radiant memory, unfading in others' souls. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Wayne Gretzky. A stone cast into a still lake, stirring ripples of awakening in the soul, reminding us that opportunities come only to those who dare to swing. Missing isn't due to a cruel fate, but to hesitation, like a bird standing silent on a branch, gazing at the sky but not spreading its wings. Each swing, though clumsy like an artist's first stroke, or bold like the first step on a 1,000-mile journey, is a door opening to new horizons. Picture yourself as an archer before life's target. If you don't draw the bow, the arrow stays still in the quiver, and dreams remain a distant, hazy moon. Dare to try, dare to fail, like a wave unafraid to crash, to reach the shore, for those swings will lead you to shots that hit the mark, turning the impossible into a radiant, proud reality.